Hello, my name is Tuang from Susan International High School in Myanmar. We are going to present about household textile waste management in Myanmar.
Hi, my name is S048 Zan and I'm from Sosa International High School in Myanmar and I'm also part of this team.
Hello everyone, I'm Nyan from Sosa International High School in Myanmar, and I'll be a part of this team.
The waste of clothing is pretty self-explanatory. It's when customers buy a product and only use it once or not even use it at all and throwing it away. What impact does fashion waste have on the environment? The fashion business is accountable for 10% of all gas emissions. Clothes that have been dumped to landfills take decades to decompose. Meanwhile, they emit methane and pollute the soil and also waters with plastic and chemicals. Who is contributing to this? Teenagers and young adults make up most of the contributors of waste in clothing, but the rise of fast fashion and trends in recent years. Since they are trends, they don't last very long and only last about 1 to 3 months. Since they are what is trendy at the moment, teenagers want them. Although that is not an issue, but when these teenagers are buying these clothes and accessories only because they are in trend, they will be bored of it by the time that the trend is over, and therefore, they would hop on the next trend and repeat the same process. How can we reduce, and what can we do with clothes that we no longer use? Reduce. The definition of it is to minimize the amount of waste we create. For example, if people want to buy an item, they should think if it is needed or not before purchase. If it is not, they should not purchase. Recycle. It converts waste into reusable material. For example, putting used newspaper and clothes into recycling bins to help manufacturing. Upcycle, meaning is to reuse discarded objects or material in such a way as to create a product of higher quality or value than the original. For example, cutting a long t-shirt to fit as a crop top.
To understand the impact of textiles, to raise awareness about the impacts of fashion and trend, to know how to manage textile waste. People are throwing away 60% of their clothes average in a year. In 2020, 18.6 million tons of clothes were end up in a landfill. Even when people have a lot of clothes, they still wanted to buy more clothes because of a trend or worn by a celebrity. They consider that the clothes are disposable, and they even say it's fast fashion. In clothing, the girls most likely to buy clothes, they thought they must have the latest style always. The fashion magazine are having that happen, and the world is polluting and the environment and being polluted because of the consumption and throwing them away constantly. Production clothes is also a hazardous process for environment. For example, polyester, which is made from petroleum, and use large amount of crude oil and release particulate matter as its gases. Hydrochloride, which is made for respiratory disease. And when growing the natural fiber, it can cause soil pollution and air pollution. Drying fiber make hydrocarbons and acetic acid that's used in dyeing. On average, to produce 1 kilogram of textile, it needs 200 liters of water. According to these, making clothes can harm environment in many ways.
We've asked 2 teachers, 3 girls and 4 boys, in total 7 teenagers and 2 adults from a class with online form. We call a meeting and it lasts for about 60 minutes. We ask them the amount of clothes they buy in a year and month, and whether they use their clothes or not, and how do they reuse them. As you see in the pie chart, 6 people didn't buy any clothes and only 3 bought 1 to 3 clothes last month. Last year, 1 person didn't buy any clothes, 4 people bought between 1 and 5 clothes, and the others bought between 6 and 10 clothes. These show that they are not the consumers who buy lots of clothes. In our class, 2 teachers and 3 students read their clothes by using them as mags, hairbands, dog clothes, dust cleaning stick, puff, pillowcases, bed sheets, bags, and handkerchiefs. These are the examples of reading their old textiles. All of these are made from clothes by cutting, repairing, and putting them together. According to the data we have collected, the thing that most of them do is donating their clothes to orphanages, visual impairment schools, villages, and to less fortunate people. They also give and share their clothes with younger sisters, housemates, and helpers from home. 5 of them have lost their clothes as shown in pie chart. Only because of the COVID-19 pandemic, the amount of purchasing clothes are less than the other years. Even though they have lots of clothes, when they manage it this way, they reduce the amount of textile waste.
Should others do, the most proper way is to reduce the purchasing of clothes in a year or month. It is the best way to reduce the waste in your environment with least cost, and it's the easiest way. A good way to reduce old textile is to reuse them. Use them as the objects that you need. Recycling is the least preferable way to manage old textile, as it consumes time, money, and skills are also needed to turn it into anything. Consumers should follow these ways to reduce waste and pollution, and also should donate or resell the textiles to people who need clothes. When we asked the students and teachers in our class, the data wasn't strong enough to show that most people are doing great things for nature. We might have more information and evidence that we could ask more girls and women in our community by taking more time.
More times to find information and more interviewees to ask. It was hard to manage the time for this project. Finding information and her methods wasn't easy. As we have poor connection and electricity problem, we had some phone bill cost. This is the end of our presentation. Thank you for your attention. Good luck to the fellow contestants. Stay safe during these hard times.